Hi, my name is Suzanne Toomey. I've been reenacting for upwards of 22 years now, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful hobby. I always say, if you love history and you love camping and you love fashion, have we got a hobby for you? But I'm also a retired nurse, and as a nurse, I was fascinated with the United States Sanitary Commission, and I love digging deeper and deeper into the ways that they helped the soldiers. And it started in New York City with Elizabeth Blackwell, the first female physician in our country, was one of the founding members of the Sanitary Commission. And as soon as they were actually in church when they heard that the shots had been fired over Fort Sumter, and they immediately started meeting after that to form what would become the Sanitary Commission. And it was largely ladies of middle and upper class who galvanized and knew that the soldiers would need a lot of help. There was a very small standing army in this country at that time, about 60,000 men, but they were calling for hundreds of thousands of volunteers, and they didn't get the same services as the standing army would. So women knew that there'd be great many needs, so they immediately rushed to help. So they were very much about organizing the great surge of women's need to help. And they did a multitude of things. Another thing they did was they would have camp inspections to look at the hygiene of the camp so that you weren't using the latrine upstream from the drinking water and making men, deathly ill in that way.
My name's Tim Perkins. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, which is about 20 miles north of Boston. I've been doing reenactment for probably close to 30-odd years, and enjoy it. I enjoy the camaraderie. People are good people. I came in as a corporal to begin with, went to a lieutenant. From there I went to captain, and about 5 years ago I got promoted to major. I have no authority on the battlefield, even though I am an officer. The only thing that I am in charge of is the dress parade. I believe I was born 150 years too late. Because I'm not into electronics. I can't do the phones the way everybody else does. I can't text. I can read smoke signals. I'm more at home here than I am there. I'm a little bit more social here than I am back in 2025. I've been diagnosed with PTSD, so that kind of helps with this kind of helps with that. I don't have a problem with the gunfire. I have a problem if I'm watching a movie on Vietnam.
Did you serve in Vietnam?
I did. I was there for 10 months, got wounded, and got retired because of the wounds. So yeah, that's kind of a bad time frame for me. I'm thankful that I'm on the downward end of this whole thing. I mean, I'm 79 years old, so how many more moons am I going to see? I'm not going to see that many more moons.
My name is Wayne Rowe. I'm currently sitting in the 1st Company Richmond Howitzers at the Civil War Artillery Company's camp. I am currently the Chief of Artillery for the Liberty Grays. I started a love of history probably when I was about 11 years old. It was during the centennial in the 1960s. Fell in love with the Civil War Golden Book. Had dioramas by the blue and gray lines. And over the years, which has been about 50 years, been to most battlefields and have a passion for the Civil War. Sometimes when you whether it's sports or this reenactment, there's no real good guys and bad guys. It's not like the Westerns and the TV, the guys with the black hats and the white hats. There were people who believed in certain ideology, and they went to war to support that. I feel I'm in a unique position because I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and I lived in New England most of my life. But here I am representing a Southern Confederate officer. So the duplicity is that I can kind of look at it from both angles of, you know, who was right and who was wrong. Were they traitors? Did they, you know, well, you look at the Revolutionary War, were they traitors with the British? So it's that conundrum of who's right and who's wrong and what they're fighting for. You know, many years ago when someone would ask me what was the cause of the Civil War, I would say it was a multifaceted thing. Over the last few years, I used to teach an elective at the Naval War College on the Civil War. And it became pretty evident once you do the deep research, it's all about slavery, you know, and slavery is not right. And so there is where the issue really comes in. But it's the camaraderie. It's almost like this is my second family, you know. You come out for the weekend and you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them. You play cards at night, or, you know, listen to the music that's in the background. So it's a kind of a family affair.
My name is Sergeant Major Pete Northrup, Senior Ranking NCO with the 12th Georgia Volunteer Infantry Company. Presently, as I said, I'm the Senior Ranking Non-Commissioned Officer. Duties and responsibilities are ensuring that all soldiers are in a state of readiness whenever the captain needs or colonel needs us to be prepared for battle or dress parade or various other duties about camp. I originally started in reenacting after 27 years in the U.S. Army and getting a degree in military history. Not that that's a requirement. Probably a well-trained soldier at the time should be able to load, fire, and shoot 3 well-aimed shots in a minute. That's every 20 seconds that rifle is firing off. And when you've got one guy shooting a rifle, that's nice. But when you've got 30 guys shooting their rifles at that same speed, that same cadence, it's quite a terrifying implement of war. One thing that I very much love about reenacting and the camp experience is in the very late hours of the evening when there's only 1 or 2 people still out, and we're by the campfire and we'll be sitting there, you know, maybe sharing a beverage of, you know, either some whiskey or some beer or whatever beverage happened to be at hand at the time. But just sitting there and staring at the coals and just chatting about all manner of topics. It's just, you know, some people can sit at home and watch the Johnny Carson show or various other things, but for me, Channel 1, a fire well tended.
My name is Major Justin Pianca. I'm the battalion surgeon for the Liberty Grays. I started reenacting actually 30 years ago on Friday. This is my 30th anniversary. I've always been interested in the war since I was a young lad, and when I was 14, that's how I got hooked. My cousin's ex-husband was a reenactor and let me shoot his rifle, and from that point forward I was like, I gotta do this. So for the role of surgeon, you do extensive research, whether it's first-hand accounts, memoirs of surgeons, or like actual documentation. One of the things I use a lot of, this is one of the original medical textbooks from medical school. This was published in 1842, and this is the second American edition of Practical Surgery. It has all the original engravings and everything, but this is actually a medical school book that they used. The mini ball, I mean, this is what the men were shooting at. This is a 58 caliber piece of lead, okay? This is what it looked like after it hit bone. I mean, it just completely destroys, and it shatters bones. If I can make someone sick, I feel like I did a good job, because when you talk 19th century and Civil War medicine, it's not glorious. It's gotta be gruesome. It's downright disgusting, but that's what it was. I mean, it's not glorious. I mean, This was trial and error. I mean, this was barbaric in so many words. I mean, we didn't know about germs in the Civil War.
My name's Nathan Wisniewski. I'm from out in Oakham, Mass. And what I'm reenacting is a blacksmith at that time, which they would forge every single thing that was metal. Well, mainly steel or iron. And the whole point of blacksmithing is heating up steel till its plastic state and using hammers and other tools and equipment to form that metal into what you need. I've been trying to do a lot of research. There's not much help out there, so it's more or less watching other people who forge with coal forges, because at this point, it really hasn't changed much. A lot of techniques are the same. Blacksmithing is a love of mine. I feel like myself when I'm at my anvil. And it just feels great to be able to see something that you made yourself.